Okay, I literally, I'm not even kidding, I've recorded this intro 5 times. I've been blurry every single time, so I'm hoping and praying that I look a little bit crispy. So yes, judging by the title, today we're going to be looking at 4 LGBTQ plus books that are not the best. And I'm making this video for 2 reasons. Number 1, dare I say it, sometimes things that are diverse are bad, and sometimes things that have marginalized characters in them does not mean that you should automatically shove it in people's faces to go watch or read or look at or invest money into, okay? So I'm just here to prove that sometimes things with diversity are not good. And second reason is that I love watching videos about people talking about books that they hate. I find it so entertaining, and this is obviously all in good fun. I do not hate these books with my entire core. I just have a little tiny issues with all of them. And that could be with the LGBTQ plus rep, or it could just be with like other aspects of the story, and it just happens that there's gay people in it. So let's go. Okay, so book 1, I'm going to start off with the book that the most people are going to hate me for hating. I'm so scared to say it. I'll Give You the Sun by Jany Nelson. Now this book is a book. This is a very classic YA novel. If you guys don't know, YA stands for young adult. It just means teen book. And this book follows 2 twins. Well, a pair of twins, Jude and Noah. And the LGBT rep is that Noah, I think, is gay, or at least likes guys. And I think he gets a boyfriend by the end. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't finish it. But, oh my gosh, is this book written, like, in the worst way possible? Jany, you set us up with a YA cover, characters, summary, plot. I think we were all expecting to walk into a fairly realistic recounting of the 2 twins and their lives as they grow up in their teen years. And what we got was some weird, whimsically poetry that was somehow sectioned off into chapters. So the plot is basically following these 2 twins. One chapter is Noah's POV, the next is Jude's POV, and I think their mom dies or is dead when the book starts, and it basically jumps from like before their mom was dead to after their mom is dead, and they have a pretty consistent storyline, which I think Noah's is like having a crush on the guy next door, and then Jude's is, which is the reason why I stopped reading the book, some like weird relationship with this older man who's a painter, and it was just like, let's put 10,000 adjectives in every single sentence. So not written well at all. And honestly, I didn't even read it up until, like, I didn't even get to see the gay representation. I didn't even get to see if it was good because I stopped reading it. And also, like, Noah, I think, is gay, and I think he says that quite early on, or at least bi or whatever. But, man, I got an incest vibe, and I don't want to say it, but the chapters talking about the kids when they were younger, like, I don't know, it was weird. I got an incest vibe. I didn't like the fact that this, like, 16-year-old girl was, like, there was a scene where she was, like, looking at this older man alone in his house. I don't know, the vibes. Guys, the vibes, they were off. This is the book that I get in like the most arguments with people because so many people love it, but it was just not for me. Like, Jany, you wanted to write some poetry. Why did you just not publish a poetry book? Why did you have to somehow put your like weird, mushy beautifully, like, descriptive words into sentences and then try to put them into a YA novel. So that's my review. I'm sorry I didn't like it. And I know a lot of other people don't like it too, but I know way more people do enjoy it. So I'm sorry, but I'll give you The Sun. I won't give you a good novel. That's what Jandy Nelson said when she gave this to her editor. Next book is probably like the least popular book, but it's the one I think I hate the most, and it's called Winning by Lara Delonza? I read the reviews on Goodreads, and a lot of people are saying it's like Mean Girls. It's basically the story of this mean girl, but she still has friends, who is trying to get homecoming queen, but then another girl who's new comes into their school, and since she's the new girl and is really nice and stuff, she starts to get votes, and then it's basically like a popularity contest where the main character, whose name is Alexandra, is trying to like do whatever is in her power to get homecoming queen. I forget what her motives were. I read this quite a long time ago, but I know that she has some tragic backstory with her family. But the reason I hate this book so much is because her best friend's name is Sam. Okay. And Sam is a lesbian. And go Sam. Love that for her. I'm a bit foggy onto why Alexandra is labeled a mean girl, but then has friends, and like Sam always sticks by her. But in my review, I just knew that I hated this book, but I couldn't remember why, but then I read my review over, and like, I pull out very specific examples. Basically, they make Sam seem as if lesbians or just girls that like other girls are the weakest people on planet Earth. It literally makes no sense. Okay, so Sam has a crush on Alexandra, and Alexandra knows this. It's like an unrequited, like, you're my best friend, I love you, and then Alexandra's like, but you know I'm straight, and Sam's like, yes, I do know you're straight. But instead of Alexandra, you know, putting her in the friend zone and keeping her in the friend zone, she uses the fact that Sam has a crush on her to like make her do things for her, and Sam does everything. So she gets a happy ending and everything, but the entire time I was reading it, I was like, it made WLW's look horribly weak, and they could just, you know, if they have a crush on a girl, they are completely hopeless and helpless and will do anything in their power to get this girl to like her and to do whatever it is to make this girl happy. So, just bad. Like, bad characterization. So Winning, I'm sorry. I was not winning when I read this book. I was losing my mind at how bad someone could write a lesbian character. But yeah. Sorry, Laura. Next up, this is the book that I'm the saddest to put on this list, because I like it, it's just not the best. And it is called Saving Montgomery's Soul by Mariko Tamaki. And I read this, I think, because I had to for some reason, or maybe I had a choice and I picked this book. But, okay, before I start, I just want to say that Mariko Tamaki, I love her. Like, I've read a bunch of her books. She is a very wonderful human being. She writes well thought out characters that are incredibly diverse. Like, she always includes, you know, like, different races, different sexualities, different abilities. And I can tell that she knows what she's doing, and she's a very good storyteller. Except for this one book. So, the LGBT rep in this book is that Montgomery Soul, who's the main character, Montgomery, she has two moms, and obviously, as a 16-year-old, you know, she's around her moms a lot. This is not like a dead parent book or anything. And she, like, everyone in her school knows that she has two moms and stuff like that. and it is kind of a small plot point where someone homophobic, I can't really remember from her town, doesn't like her simply because she has two moms, but I think it gets resolved. But the reason why this did not work for me was one, kind of the plot, and two, the character, who is 16 years old, is supposed to sound like a 16-year-old, but instead kind of sounds like she's 12, 13, 11-ish. Yeah, just sounds very, very young. And as someone, I think I read this when I was older than 16, which I absolutely hate doing, watching this like teenager kind of carry herself like a tween or just a child was not good at all. It also carried a very large plot of girl on girl hate, which we hate. I hate that. As I just talked about winning about two girls. Like, if it's for a competition, I'm all for it, but Montgomery thinks that she's better than literally every single girl in her grade and has this weird, like, hating on her best friend who's a girl at some point. I kind of forgot the plot line, but I don't know. I just remember it being weird and just being like, how old is this character? Continually. But yay for gay moms. She also has a little sister, and like the whole family dynamic, like whenever the moms were in there, is really cute and really nice. For, I was about to call her Tamaki, Mariko, the author, to, you know, include moms, like include LGBTQ plus families. I think that's very important in like younger YA novels, even if the main character isn't LGBTQ plus themselves. So that part was good, but it was just like, this main character is so insufferable, and I'm 99% sure it was in first person, so it was even more just like, ah. But the plot is that she finds this necklace, or she buys this like voodoo magic necklace. Maybe it will help Monty, her name is Monty, take down her newest enemy, a preacher who has come to save her town from so-called sinners like Monty's moms. Or will its mysterious powers mean the end of the friendships Monty cherishes most? Yeah, so she has like beef with this preacher guy who's like touring from town to town being like, gay people suck. And she's like, what? No, those are my moms. So yeah, she is a very like, yay, gay people ally, but it's just, she's mature a little bit. So yeah, sorry. Last but not least, I take back what I said about winning. This book is my least favorite book. And the fact that I read it all, and it is so incredibly long, or at least felt so incredibly long, The Power that I hold, unmatched. This is my, oh, I don't even want to talk about it, but also I do. The Love Interest by Cale, Dietrich. This book, oh my goodness, I really like dragged myself through reading it all, and I think I realized about a quarter of the way in that it was bad, but I still was like, I just want to know what happens to this absolute like hellhole of a book. I need to explain the plot before, because oh my gosh. So we have Caden and Dylan. And do we have the girl's name? Juliet. Okay, oh my gosh, her name is Juliet, that's funny. Okay, so we live in the regular realistic world. I'm guessing this came out like 2017, so like 2017 Earth, I'm guessing. And there's a secret US-based spy-ish program that basically matches up teens with other teens. So they basically take really smart or really famous or like just uniquely creative teens, and they spy on them, and then they dispatch 2 other teens that they have to fall in love with. So that kind of didn't make sense, but I'll give you the characters. So Juliet is the girl that is a regular human being. She doesn't know that any of this is happening, and she's incredibly smart. I think science is her field. And so they dispatch Caden and Dylan, and she has to fall in love with one of them. Can you guess what the plot is already? So, but they don't, you know, they give her options. They always give the person options. So Caden is the good guy, so Caden is the main character, and Dylan is the bad guy. And well, I'm explaining it. so stupid. The person that Juliet falls in love with will marry her and everything, and therefore the underground company can like keep spying on her. But the person who she doesn't pick dies. They fall to a fateful death because they were not considered good enough for her. And they have like earpieces in the whole time, they have head bass and stuff, and they're not supposed to interact with each other. But guess what happens, guys? Caden starts to have a crush on Dylan. In 2017, this is the first time that you think the company has ever run into a problem with gay people? Like, where am I? So basically Caden finally like admits to himself after many, many chapters of like, no dude, I'm still straight. Like, I still want to smash Juliet. It's just like, I don't want to smash her specifically, but like other girls, yeah, I will. And they have to like go more into their stereotypes, and so he's very stereotypically the good boy, and Dylan is very stereotypically the bad boy. Like, he has a leather jacket and tattoos and he smokes and has a motorcycle and stuff. And Caden is like, oh my gosh, also his name is Caden. I'm reading the name Caden like 12 times on a page. Finally admits to Dylan that he likes him or something, and then they are both like, oh, well, we obviously can't tell the secret underground US spy people because they'll kill us, because I guess they're homophobic, or I guess they just don't want Juliet to go boyfriendless. And obviously they can't like throw a third guy into the mix randomly because I guess that's not allowed. I have no idea what the parameters were. Anyways, the plot, like, I know I explained it, I know I'm laughing and stuff, but it's kind of a cool idea. And especially with the fact that like, oh, they both have a crush on each other, like this totally mixes up the love triangle dynamic. But this was written like a Wattpad fanfiction. A 13-year-old wrote this, I swear. Cale is 13, I think. But it was just written so horribly. The dialogue was so bad. And it just like was incredibly cringy. And I'm pretty sure at the end they like tell Juliet that there's a spy organization, and she like flips out obviously. And I think there's a scene where they're like racing down this road and like these like army drones are shooting after them or something. Anyways, I truly don't remember the ending. I think I blocked out the entire story as soon as I finished reading it. I think they get a happy ending, or Dylan dies or something. That's about it. Those are the books. I can only find 4, so honestly, that's still kind of like a win for the gays. I don't want to tell people to subscribe because that makes me feel uncomfortable. But like, comment down below if you have also read these books. If you have and you hate them too, please tell me, because I need like fortification for when, I don't know, the Sun book. I'll give you the Sun. I know some I'll give you the Sun stands are gonna find this and rip me to shreds. Hope you enjoyed. Go read a book. Go read like good LGBTQ plus books. Don't go read these unless it honestly interests you and you just want to read a bad book. See you next week. Peace out. Peace, love. Goodbye, I guess.